Portland be the 18th team in Major League Soccer?
It's the City of Portland's championship.
It is great to be home.
Sports Sunday with Orlando Sanchez.
They were hot. Things were going oh so well. They were healthy. Now, not so much. We look at a week of highs and the lows for the Trailblazers. Plus, our Rod Hill, he loves his Kansas City Chiefs. Look at him. But we'll tell you why you might want to root for their opponent next week. The conference title games are set. What is good, everyone? Welcome to Sports Sunday. My name is Orlando. Art Edwards has got his socially distant game going as usual. So, Art,
hey, I'm in Egypt. You see the pyramids behind me. I'm in Egypt for the Men's Handball World Championships. You know what? I'm going to check out the pyramids as well, though, while I'm there.
I didn't know where you were this week, man, so you caught me off guard with that. We could be looking for any mummies.
I'm gonna see if I can find a mummy as well.
All right, man. Well, I need you for the next half hour or so, all right?
I'll hang out.
All right, man. Well, it's been a roller coaster of a week in Rib City. We saw the highs of a 4-game win streak and the lows of 2 key injuries, all in a matter of just a couple of days. The most recent coming Saturday night. Blazers fans, they had to be thinking, oh no, not again. Another injury. CJ McCollum's foot gets stepped on. The team is calling it a sprained left foot. He's listed as out for Monday's game against the Spurs. Head coach Terry Stotts says there is no timeline on his return. McCollum is off to the best season of his career. He's averaging about 27 points per game. So, Art, what is your level of concern right now?
Well, my level of concern really is pretty high right now because CJ had been off to such a good start, best start of his career, as you just said, and you want to keep that going. You don't want anything to slow it down. And with a foot, who knows how he's going to be feeling running around and trying to jump and things like that. And I just hope it isn't something that's real serious.
Yeah, man. No one likes to see the momentum slow down and cool off the hot hand. This guy is on the cusp of his first All-Star season. All right, Art. Then there was Thursday night. Jusuf Nurkic breaking his wrist. It happened on this freak of a play, really, swiping for the ball and then landing on his right side. The Athletic reporting it requires surgery, and he'll be out at least 8 weeks. That's around 30 games if that remains the case. So Saturday night, we saw Enes Kanter fill in nicely for Nurk in the Trailblazers win over the Hawks. Kanter, he put up a double-double along with 5 blocks. So here's how Kanter responded after that big-time performance.
This game was for Nurk, you know. We just feel all bad for him, and we praying for him. It's just sad because what he was doing was just bringing so much to our team, and he was a big part of our family. But I think I'm used to this role.
So the Blazers are 8-5. Their next 5 games, all at the Moda Center. Even without Nurkic and possibly McCollum, this is still a pretty favorable schedule, all against teams with records at or below 500. Just a heads up, tomorrow's game against the Spurs is at noon. Through the first 13 games, and with everything they've been through already, how are you feeling about the Blazers, Art?
Well, I feel pretty good because it looks like the defense is really coming around. The guys seem to be getting used to playing with each other, and defensive stops have helped them win a couple of ball games.
That game against the Hawks has to make you feel a little bit better about them too, because it felt like a team victory.
It did, definitely.
Time now, Art, to take a look at the NFL playoffs. Playoffs?
Playoffs?
The dust has settled and we're down to the Final Four. First to Arrowhead Stadium for the Browns and the Chiefs. I was looking forward to this one. Maybe the biggest play of the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes takes a big hit in the third quarter, and then he looks woozy when he tries to get up. Mahomes eventually taken to the locker room. He was diagnosed with a concussion and he didn't return. We'll see moving forward what that means for the playoffs. The Chiefs had to hang on for dear life to get this win. Chad Henne, he was clutch. He had a 13-yard run on third down, and then that fourth down completion there sealed the deal, winning 22-17. The Chiefs will host the AFC Championship game for the third year in a row. First time that's ever been done.
Wow. Hey, we're going to take a trip from the Midwest to south to the Big Easy. New Orleans at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Battle of the 40-plus-year-old quarterbacks. New Orleans, they had the lead, a 10-point lead when the wheels fell off in the third quarter. Jared Cook catching the ball over the middle, but he fumbles it. The Bucs scoop it up and go deep into Saints territory. That set them up in great field position. They took the lead. And then in the fourth quarter, with time running out, Drew Brees with his third interception of the game.
Oh, no.
Tom Brady and Tampa Bay get the win 30-20. Might have been the last we're going to see of Drew Brees. Hey, from New Orleans, we're going to have to travel to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. The Packers, top seed in the NFC, hosting the Rams. This was on Saturday. Packers able to have some fans in the stadium. First time they've had paying fans there this year, and they were ready. This was all about Aaron Rodgers. He does it with his legs this time, kind of the short run after he faked the pass. Packers never really threatened in this ballgame. Rodgers hooks up with Allen Lazard on the 58-yard scoring play. Green Bay coast past the Rams 32-18. Rodgers threw for 2 touchdowns, ran for another one. He'll play in the NFC Championship game on his home field for the first time in his career.
It looked pretty cold out there too, Art.
Yes, it did.
Rodgers on fire. So from one cold spot to another, we head upstate New York. Buffalo Bills hosting the Baltimore Ravens. Key play of the game here. Ravens driving when Lamar Jackson picked off in the end zone by the Bills' Taron Johnson. And he takes off the other direction, and that means his eyes are on the prize. One of the longest plays in postseason history, a 101-yard pick six. First red zone interception of Jackson's career. All hopes ended late in the game when Jackson took a hit, smacks his head on the turf, missed the rest of the game, and the Bills get the W. 17-3 to advance to the AFC Championship game for the first time since 1994.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. All right, if you're looking for a reason to root for Buffalo, listen to this. Bills fans have raised more than $240,000 for Lamar Jackson's favorite charity in support of the QB after he took that nasty hit. Pretty cool stuff, right, Art?
No doubt about it. Love those Bills fans.
Well, the Bills, they'll visit the Chiefs in the late game next Sunday. Kickoff set for 3:40 our time. The Bills went 13-3. The Chiefs 14-2. 5 losses between the two squads. That's the best combination of records in a conference title game since 2015 when the 15-1 Panthers beat the 13-3 Cardinals. So the Chiefs, they beat the Bills back on October 19th. Straight up, Art, who you got?
If Patrick Mahomes plays, it's going to be the Chiefs. If not, the Bills will be moving on to the Super Bowl.
Oh, bold. All right, on the NFC side, it's the Battle of the Bays, 12:05 Pacific time, 11-5 Bucs visiting the 13-3 Packers. The Bucs won this matchup back in October, 38-10. Art, who you taking?
I'm taking Green Bay because it's going to be cold, probably snowing, the wind's going to be blowing. It's going to be miserable there, but they're used to it.
I know we got a lot of Packers fans in our area.
We do.
At least I hear from them all the time. I know they're pumped up right now.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Art, still to come. It's been nearly a month since the OSU Beavers played their last game up in Pullman. The Beavs finally hit the court again today. Plus, we won't see much of a football season on the park blocks. The big decision from leadership at Portland State. And welcome back to Sports Sunday. The Oregon State women's basketball team went nearly an entire month without playing a game. The Beavers paused all team activities after playing on December 19th due to an outbreak of COVID-19. Fast forward 29 days later, and the Beavers got back on the court, visiting 11th ranked Arizona. OSU opened the game on an 8-0 run, leading by as much as 9. But the Wildcats captured the lead late in the first quarter, and they never gave it up. The Beavers had 19 turnovers in the game, and Arizona lit it up from long range, winning 67-51. The Beavers fall to 3-4 on the season. They'll host Washington on Friday. And props to the Oregon State men's team as well. After going through a pause of their own, they got beat by 34 points. It was their worst home loss in a decade. Well, the Beavers bounced back with an 80-79 victory against Arizona State today. It was a game that featured 17 ties and 20 lead changes. Warith Alatishe slammed home the go-ahead dunk with a few seconds left for the win. Coach Wayne Tinkle on his team finding a way to turn things around on Saturday night.
You look at the focus that they've kept through all of this in school, with their behavior, with some tough losses. They've been grinding through it all, and I'm super proud of them. So I knew they would respond.
After Saturday's win, Oregon State now 6-5 on the season. Art?
The Oregon men's basketball program is on pause right now. It's because of COVID-19 protocols. The games with Arizona State, Arizona, both been postponed. Don't know when they're going to be played. We also don't know how long the Ducks men will be off the court. The Oregon women's basketball team is still playing, but they have hit a rough patch. In their last game, the Ducks fell behind number 11 Arizona 17-2 to start the game. They were never able to recover from that. Their slowest start of the season in the fourth quarter. Wildcats stretched the lead to 23 points. Ducks fall to Arizona 57-41. Oregon has now lost 3 of its last 4 games. They play number 25 Washington State on Friday.
All right, you know they're going to bounce back.
Oh, always.
It's going to be a little longer before we see the Portland State football team play a game. The Vikings are backing out of their spring schedule. Originally, they were set to play 6 conference games. Head coach Bruce Barnum, he said they've been out of competition and practice for nearly a year. And to try and get his team ready for a game on February 27th just doesn't make sense. But the Vikings would be open to playing in a couple of games in April. PSU opens its conditioning program next week. So, Art, what do you think about the decision?
Well, I think it's a great decision. I think when you take a look at what potentially could happen to the student athletes, I mean, these guys haven't been playing, like you said, in almost a year, and that sets you up for injury. So I think that it's a good decision for them to hold off, get back at it for practice, and then play games hopefully starting in the fall.
Yeah, and even from an X's and O's, just football standpoint, they're a little behind compared to a lot of the teams in the conference who have been practicing for weeks.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I don't see anything bad about them saying, hey, look, we're just going to hold off. I think it's a great idea.
All right, maybe they'll get in a couple of games in April. That'll be fun. All right, Art, still to come. Some soccer stars are coming to Portland. The Thorns make their 2021 draft picks. We'll be right back.
Play action. Jones steps up right down the middle of the field. It's touchdown. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped.
Ain't that the truth? Alabama's Devontae Smith, he went wild in college football's championship game. The Heisman Trophy winner, 215 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns in the first half against Ohio State. Alabama wins 52-24. Smith, obviously the offensive player of the game. That's also your sizzle. The Portland Thorns front office putting in work this past week, trading up to secure the number 6 draft pick in the NWSL draft. They selected TCU midfielder Yasmin Ryan, a player the team believes can make an immediate impact. Portland also drafted Penn State midfielder Sam Coffey 12th, Amira Ali out of Rutgers with the 22nd pick, and Wake Forest defender Hannah Belfort at 37th.
The Portland Timbers made a couple of moves of their own this week. The team signed defender Larry Mabiala to a multi-year contract extension. He's been with the Timbers since 2017. And Portland traded this guy, defender Jorge Villafana, to the LA Galaxy, along with the 16th pick in the upcoming MLS draft. In turn, the Timbers get the 8th pick in the draft. Villafana played 102 games with the Timbers. We'll be right back.
Art, did you know about this?
I did not.
A tradition in Nashville to throw a catfish on the ice during Predator games. There were about 200 people at the Predators game against the Blue Jackets. A catfish hit the ice and it's wearing a mask. I guess you got to be protected at all times, right, Art?
I guess so, man. All right.
Safety first, man.
That's right. Hey, check this one out. A U.S. sailing team capsized their $80 million boat.
Oh, no.
$80 million for that during a race off the coast of New Zealand. The race was part of America's World Cup Challenger Series. I know, that thing was flying. No one on the yacht was hurt, but the yacht itself was damaged. Started taking on water. They were afraid it was going to sink.
That's crazy.
The crew of the American Magic team says they're going to have to make some repairs. They've got a few days to do that before the racing starts again.
See, that's the part I don't think about.
Right.
What can
I've never
go
seen
wrong?
them do that. Man, that went way wrong.
Yeah, and talk about a price tag on that, man.
Ooh, $80 million.
They might need a few bucks from you, man.
I can't help them out. I'm sorry.
Well, it's good to be back in studio, man, and
glad to have you here.
I forgot the cardboard cutout. Sorry, man. Nice show as usual, Art, and thank you guys so much for staying up late with us. That does it for the show tonight. We leave you with our Plays of the Week.
Born ready, it's go time. Lights, camera, action, showtime. The heart of a champion, my opponents hate it. The throne is for the taking, so close I can taste it like.
Point in the third quarter. Now the same by Cartier behind the back again. A little move, and how about that one? 5 hole.
Don't foul. Oh my God.
Left unattended in the middle of the lane, and Oregon State takes a 1-point lead.
This is a winning basketball play. Sprinting back.
It's time to take over. This one's for the culture. In the heat of the summer, keeping eye on the vultures. The other eyes on the trophy.